Hi, this is Arizona lawyer Julie Lebenz, and I'm back with Alan May, the father who continually fought day in and day out just to have time with his daughter. And in the end, he is now a single parent raising a teenage daughter because he never gave up on that battle. And in the last series of videos that Alan and I did together, we highlighted some of the more recent events in Alan's story, where he fought, over a long span of time to secure this father-daughter relationship that he has now. And Alan, I wanted to go back today and talk a little bit about when this all started. You were married for 3 years, and you really started a family. You got married, you had the big wedding, you bought a house together, you started a family, you had a daughter, you were married for 3 years, and then all of a sudden everything changed. And did it literally feel like it changed overnight for you?
Yeah. One day you're walking in, the key fits the lock, and the next day the police are telling you can't come back to your house because there's a restraining order. And you also see your name on the initial divorce papers, and you read the allegations, which are abuse, drug abuse, basically stuff that never happened during my marriage. And now you're looking to not only defend yourself but be able to see your kid again, and you're lost. You are lost.
Right, and you weren't getting the benefit of the doubt. You had to prove yourself, right? You had to get the drug testing done. You had to prove that you weren't violent. You had to prove that you could be a safe, responsible daughter, whereas before that, there was no question. You got to spend time with your daughter without any restrictions.
The day before this, I was picking my daughter up at the daycare. I was coming home from work. Everything was business as usual. The next day, I'm a bad guy. The very next day.
Now, about how long did it take you to get from start to finish through the divorce process?
8 months, probably.
And you were able to prove yourself, and you worked out a parenting plan, is that right?
Mind you, I had to take drug tests once a week for this whole 8 months, to the tune of about $400 a week is what it cost me. All of them were successful, all of them passed, and
eventually you got time with your daughter, right?
Absolutely. And it was hard because I actually left town to go to work, and you just feel empty throughout the whole process, really empty.
So you get divorced, and you have a schedule that you're following. And how are things going within your family dynamic?
Chaos.
Now you're left without much after the divorce, right? She got the house.
I left with my car.
That was it, right? So you're rebuilding your life at that time, and you're also working your parenting plan. So you're sharing custody of your daughter, you're having to have some contact with each other. And how do things go at that point, post-divorce?
Well, she rocked the boat even with visitation. I did get visitation, and small spurts, but it was always on her terms, her way, her demands. None of it was easy. None of it was easy at all. But I did get it.
Now, believe it or not, through this struggle, Alan and his ex-wife rebuild a relationship, and we're going to pause here and come back and talk about what happened, how they reconnected, how they started acting like a family again, and then when it fell apart again. So stay tuned, hang on, we'll be back with more from Alan's story of how he fought his way to make sure that he had a relationship with his daughter against all odds.